Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox live Q&A. I'm your host, Dr. Daryl Wolfe. You know what? I just want to thank everybody for coming on the show, and I just want to thank everybody for saying such nice things to us. And it really is really great, that people appreciate what we do. We really do put our hearts into it, and understand something. I want you to know that we truly care about you, but we want you to care about you even more. I want you to learn how to totally love, honor, respect yourself unconditionally. I want you to get rid of every bit of guilt that you've ever had. Do you understand? I want you to be able to make mistakes and fail and just call it practice. And understand something. If you do hurt someone, apologize. But don't hang on to it. You want to learn, you don't want to burn. Understand something. You do what you want. As far as corporations and systems and society goes, I'm totally ignoring them. I've totally walked away from them. I have no respect for them. And understand something. I know that human beings are involved, but these are human beings that have been totally programmed. And these human beings will end up hurting even their own family. But until they hurt their own family, they're going to hurt me. They're going to hurt everybody with a small business. They're going to hurt everyone that is lonely at home. They're going to hurt everyone that has an autoimmune disease, everyone that believes they have a disease. They're going to hurt everyone that is depressed or in desperation right now. They're going to hurt people continually, okay? Human beings are not intelligent. Let's make that perfectly clear. A human being can only be as intelligent as its beliefs. Now, I said its beliefs because your spirit is all-knowing. Your heart is all-loving if you allow it. But a human being is a different creature altogether. Human beings are not the smartest species in the universe. My father used to say, we're the smartest thing in the universe. And I'll tell you right now, we're the dumbest thing in the universe. And maybe we're the smartest thing in our mind. But the reality is we're not the smartest thing in the universe. And we may not even be the smartest one in our house. Because the smartest one in the house is that person who understands self-care and self-love and how to teach that to other people and holding the line. And that's what I'd like to say. So I want to make this perfectly clear. If you're part of any governmental system, I don't respect you right off the bat. I will not disrespect you. But the reality is I will not think that you are an authority over me. And I want you to understand that. People who think they have authority over me have another thing coming. They don't. Only one thing has authority over me, and that's my Creator. I humble down to nobody on this planet. I will never humble down to anybody else on this planet. You need to get that. And if you did get that, everybody out there who's wearing a mask, 6-foot rule, shutting their businesses down, well, guess what? You know what? And this is what the so-called elite, and they're not elite, they're freaks. This is what they believe right now. They believe that if you're going to do all these stupid things, you deserve what you're going to get, and you're nothing more than a cow, so you should be milked and then sent to the butcher. And this is why they want to get us all into the cities. Get us all compacted like animals and living in high-rises, because that's what they are. They're like cages. I'll tell you one thing right now. COVID taught me so much. It taught me how to really, truly hunker down and love and respect and honor myself. No matter if my family wasn't going to do it for themselves, I couldn't let their vibration, their frequency, get into my frequency. We all have an aura. We all have a field. In science, it's called the field. So don't give me your hoopla about, it's invisible. Well, so is God. And so is love most of the time. And you know what? The main part about us has been invisible. It was the invisible part of us that came down to create the physical part. And someday the invisible part will leave. But as long as I'm going to be on this planet, damn it, I'm going to stand up for me and everybody else who believes, okay, that they should be free and that they should realize that they've never been free. And we needed COVID maybe to do that, because what did we need? A cold and a flu. There you go. Because we needed to blow it off, right? A cold and a flu. let me just say this. So I went to, had to do a rush trip to Vancouver. It's cold and wet there. Holy smokes. Don't like cold and wet. But anyway, so it was raining out. I didn't really dress for it. By the time I got home, which was yesterday afternoon, I actually had a cold flu and I had a bit of a fever. Okay? And understand. Now, a normal person, because I'm not normal, so let's make that perfectly clear. A normal person would be sick today. Well, I'll tell you, today was Cyber Monday, which means it's our biggest sale and it ends tonight at midnight. So I have, you know what? It's like this. Daryl, I went and did this. You want to see my drink? Look what my drink's called. You see? Can you read that? Can you read it? What does it say? It says Corona. That's my Corona drink. Okay, so what's in my Corona drink? Excuse me. In my Corona drink, I have humic and I have fulvic, humic acid. If you take a look at it, the National Health Institute, right, which most of the time only comes out of their mouth is a bunch of BS, but they actually stated, which used to be up on their website, but they took it down, that humic will encapsulate itself around any virus, and if you're taking humic, you're protected. They said that, not me. So, and then the fulvic, it helps to, humic also balances hormones and it does a lot of other things. But then our humic concentrate does that. But our fulvic concentrate, which is a liquid also, it'll bring down the acidity and it'll deliver up to 60 nutrients into your cells. And then it'll actually hold 3 times its weight in heavy metals and acidity to come out of the body. So I've been dousing myself with that. And then I've been dousing myself every 2 hours. Every 1 to 2 hours with curcumin cayenne all the time when I got home last night. I took 2 capsules like 3 times throughout the night of that. And here I am, slam jam. Okay, so, you know, I'm bigger than a cold. I'm bigger than a flu, and I'm bigger than COVID, right? You know what? I got to tell you something. When I was younger and I was getting into all this health stuff, because, see, you got to understand something. You're only as big as your program. You want to know that? You're only as big as your program. So I have this beautiful lady. She calls me up today. And she was supposed to come for a whole life coach certification. She might be listening, so we'll protect her name and everything. But we all go through this. God love her. But she called me up about 6 months ago, and I was doing a whole life coach certification. I do them all the time. And so she was going to come, and then she calls up and she goes, well, is everybody going to be wearing a mask? And are we all going to do 6-foot rule? And do you have your bacterial soap there? And I'm going to be wearing a mask. Are you going to be wearing a mask? And I go, nobody wears a mask coming into my clinic. Okay, just know that. Nobody wears a mask coming into my clinic. And the reality is I don't want that energy here. Because look at, here's the deal. I don't care if Prime Minister Trudeau gets on there cha-cha-cha, or if Dr. Tam, that used to be a man, that now is a woman, that looks so sick, I don't know how he or she even gets promoted. But do you understand something? I'm not picking on because Dr. Tam was a man who became a woman. I'm just trying to say that Dr. Tam is Canada's greatest health advisor, right? And do you think Dr. Tam knows about food combining? Does Dr. Tam know that you should have 2 to 3 really good bowel movements a day, that you should be drinking structured water, whole plant-based foods? Not at all. Take a look at Dr. Tam. Dr. Tam is not well. I would like to help Dr. Tam. Dr. Tam, she looks unhealthy. But then if you take a look at most of the people that are the health minister of each country, look at them. Look at them. So understand, the whole thing is rigged, everyone. The whole thing is rigged. And you know what? And don't think I was picking on Dr. Tam because Dr. Tam was a man and now a woman. So I wasn't, because I have friends that have done that. So let's make that perfectly clear. The reality is what Dr. Tam is doing to our whole nation. Okay, our whole nation. All right? Last night there was a commercial, and I'm actually going to do a one-a-day tomorrow with Dr. Tam. I want to show you the commercial that Dr. Tam's doing, and then you tell me that Dr. Tam looks emotionally healthy or physically healthy or neither. How about that? Okay? So understand something. I hope you don't think that you can actually just talk to me and you can have diarrhea coming out of your mouth and you think that I'm going to take that in. And then guess what? And then the reality is that when the majority of the public is taking in, then guess what? Well, let me put to you this way. When I was in my 20s, I was called a health nut. Then when I got my doctorate, then I was called a quack. Okay? And then when I started telling people that this stuff is going to happen, right, and try to prepare people for things, then I become a conspiracy theorist, right? And now guess what? I'm a COVIDiot. I guess that's what they call them. So understand something. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Understand something, everyone. Let me go back to this lady. So she was going to come and take my whole life coach course. Now this was just before the first COVID hit. And she said all of those things like, can I do this? Can I wear a mask? Are you going to wear a mask? Everybody going to wear a mask? Are we going to do all this? And I go, we're not going to do any of it. And she goes, oh, I can't come. And I said, and I've been dealing with her for about, I'd say a year before that. And I said, let's call her Kim. I said, Kim, you do realize that you're running one thing, and that one thing is going to destroy all your relationships with yourself and with everyone else, okay? And ever since I've known you over this year, let's say it was about a year, I said, the only thing that I see from you is fear, okay? The only thing that I see from you is fear. I said, if you don't watch it, you're going to destroy things. Well, anyways, just to make my point, it's not about me being right. Look, when it rains, you get wet, right? And when it's cold, you get a cold, right? So, here's the deal. She calls me up this morning, and she says, Dr. Wolfe, last night I woke up, and I have a cough, and I also have phlegm. I said, okay, what's your point? Well, I'm really scared that I might have the COVID. And I said, well, the COVID is a flu, it's a cold. And understand something, Kim. People have died from the flu and the cold since the beginning of time. And it's mainly the elderly. And it's also people that don't look after themselves and have very bad addictions. Or they're just unwell, or they have an autoimmune disease and they've had it for years. So I said to her, okay, let's just say you're right, but you have to answer this question for me. Do you know one person personally that died of COVID and they didn't have an autoimmune disease, cancer, or they didn't have some terrible addiction where they were drinking themselves to death, or they weren't on 5 or 6 different prescriptions at once? And she says to me, no, but, and I go, what do you mean, but? Well, on the news every night there's people dying of COVID. And I said, well, there's your problem if you can't stop the news. And she goes, oh, Dr. Wolfe, that's what my husband said, and he just left me. He left me. And I said, I'm going to give you a gift, Kim. Do you remember when we talked a long time ago and I told you that your fear is going to destroy relationships? It's going to destroy your health? Do you mean I drove him away? And I said, well, I'm not going to say you drove him away, but do you want to drive everyone away? She goes, yeah, my son's still with me. He's 25, and I keep at him to get the COVID test, and he won't go to get it, and I just need him to go get it. And I go, okay, so Rosa, I'm not going to stay on the phone with you anymore, and you're not allowed to call me with full of fear anymore. You can't do it. I mean, you can call me full of fear, everyone. You can do that. But you can't call me full of fear with the same problem all the time. And, so the first COVID, she doesn't know anybody who died of COVID. I mean, come on. Do I know somebody who had COVID? God, I had COVID last night. Okay? Probably still have a little bit, see? And anyways, so I said to her, Kim, you're going to have to get it together. And you're going to have to stop the news. I said, you can't even stop the news. You always know when somebody's watching the news, like CNN or Fox or or one of the Canadian channels like CBC or one of those channels, because they just get on there and they're just like, the world's ending and everybody's going to die, right? You got to understand something, everyone. These guys are just so good at being bullies. And, you know, as far as people in the media, well, they're just, the word I would say I'm not going to use on my show, but the people in the media sold their soul to the devil a long time ago. Okay, they have to if they want it, and they know they're lying. But after a while, you can live a lie. You know, I can remember when I was younger, I used to lie. You know, and I would lie enough that the lie would become more real than the truth. So understand something. But the reality is every time that you tell a lie, you become that lie. And then think about the lie you become. I mean, that's no way to live. I am not going to live like that. I don't know what these people actually think, you know. There is eternity, I believe. And I don't really know if you get punished or not when you leave this world. But the reality is I made a decision about 25 years ago. And that was that I was going to live to my greatest potential. I was going to evolve. And the only way you evolve is doing it consciously. So I'm just going to keep on doing. And you have to understand something. I don't care what people think. I don't care what people think because people don't think. I don't care what people think. And I love you anyway. You don't have to like me. You can hate me. It doesn't really matter. The reality is I need to be able to do this earth game and love everybody. Okay, do I love Bill Gates? No, I don't know what Bill Gates is. Do I hate him? No, because hating anyone or anything, it comes back at you. That's what a tumor is. It's full of hate and anger. You know, that's what pain is. That's why people can't let go. I'm not letting go of this. You know, I'll have people in my class and I'll go, you might want to let go of that, you know. And a friend of mine who I've been friends with for a couple of years, she says, you know what, Daryl, you're so absolutely right. I got hemorrhoids and I know what it's from. It's letting go. I don't want to sell my condo, but I should sell my condo because I know the economy's going to crash, and I know that we really should move where we are because it's got so much 5G and it's too congested, and I need to get out of there. And I said, well, don't let go, and then just keep. If you got internal hemorrhoids, keep it up. You'll have external ones too, because I can't let go. Okay, because I'm all jammed up. Because you got to go with the flow. Remember something, usually when you do something good for yourself and you go with the flow, then you're going to go with the flow on a invisible and physical level, meaning having a good dump, eh? It feels good to have a good dump, doesn't it? Anyway, so you're going to have to make a decision, everyone. Man-made or nature-made? Man-made or nature-made? Because understand, I am going more towards nature all the time. I hope everybody doesn't mind. I'm not doing this because I'm trying to be like Polaroid cool, but I'm going to put my Tesla glasses on because I have a little bit of a headache, tension headache, and I got blue light here, blue light here, blue light here. And when I put these on, this headache will just go boom, gone. Because Tesla glasses turn the blue light into a healing light. They don't block rays, because trying to manage pain, trying to block blue light, both of them are nonsense. You don't want to manage pain. You want to master your pain because your pain is a GPS. You want to master the blue light. You want to master the 5G that's hitting your eyes because your eyes don't see, your brain sees. And your brain sees, but you're burning your brain. So that's why you have eye problems. And if I keep this up, I don't really want to feel crappy at the end of today. All right. So man-made or nature-made? So that's what you're going to have to decide. Every decision that you make, if you want to exist on this planet, I said exist and thrive. Okay, not just exist and be a survivor like Elon Musk says humans are obsolete. Yeah, really, Elon? You want to go to Mars? Why don't you just go? Just go, okay, and leave us alone. All right, gotcha. Okay, he's the same guy when you're buying his Tesla cars. Just know that you get prostate cancer with a Tesla car because it only would have cost them $100 to $150 to put a protector over the electric motor, but they don't. So it's frying your prostate. So if you want to have children, you just bought a Tesla, good luck. Okay, good luck. All right, so here we go. Man-made or nature-made? So everything that I make a decision on, where I'm going to live, what I'm going to do, where my holiday's going to be, everything will be about nature. You better be shopping local. You better be shopping local. You better support your local people, like the local farmer, the local herbalist, okay? The local everything, all right? Trust no one. Get to know everybody that you're buying food off of, because maybe you didn't notice this. They've been poisoning our water, our air, our food, our minds all the time. And stop watching TV and stop watching the news. It's BS, dysfunctional beliefs. They want to drive it home to you, just like Kim, right? So Kim is driving her husband away. She's going to drive her son away, and she's going to make herself sick all the time. Let me tell you something. They know that if they can program you to fear 24/7, they own you. I don't know. Somewhere along the line, I must have signed up for this game. Here's to you. Here's to you. Well, let me see. Should we get at it? Can you tell I'm a little buzzed? Oh, yeah. I am a little buzzed. You know what? We have so much stuff coming for you. Gotta remember, I keep 2 video guys busy. I keep a graphic artist guy busy. I have around the world in total, I've got 15 people that work for me, right? So sometimes I get a little bit tired of myself, like right now. Okay. Right, Drake? Am I keeping you guys busy?
I would say so.
Yeah, wait till you see the stuff we got coming for you. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If you're not watching things and doing things that are unleashing your authentic self, okay, what are you doing? Because there's so much potential that lies in everybody, and I mean everybody, okay? I was talking to a really wise man today, and he runs a synagogue, and he was telling me, and he goes, you know, Daryl, people don't realize it, you know, but women are raised to feel they need approval, and men are raised to be bullies. And I went, yeah, I actually talk about that all the time, but I've never said it like that. And he said, yeah, that's the problem. So the reality is that we're at odds with each other, the male and the female, but we're mainly at odds with our male and female within our own bodies. Wow, wouldn't that be great, eh? If you could just not be at war with your feminine and masculine self, because that's everyone. That's all of us like that. If we could stop going to war, wouldn't that be great? Okay, Heather, my uncle is dizzy all day, every day. Doesn't drink a lot of water, does he? Okay, because when you're dizzy, you're toxic. When you're dizzy, you lack oxygen. And we'll see how well I do here, okay? When laying down, he has been to so many doctors, and they can't find anything wrong. Could you help? Could he help himself? Does he want to help himself? Okay, so I'm going to say this, and I mean this, but you are only going to be able to help yourself for the amount that you love yourself. That's not true. I remember when I was really sick, I really got in there. And yeah, and it didn't last, did it? Because willpower doesn't last. What lasts? Self-love, self-care. You run the program enough, you fill up your own heart with love for yourself, and then you get in there. That's how it works. And you can't have passion, okay, if you don't have a purpose. And the purpose should be filling up your heart, and that will make you smart. As long as your heart's not filled up with care and love for yourself, then you're always going to be a crapshoot, okay? Because depending on who's asking you to have that drink, who's asking for you to eat that food, who's asking for you to come up against yourself, you'll be going, let me see. Do I need love from this person or don't I need love? And if I need love from this person, then I'm going to opt for it and I'm going to sell myself short. So, I don't know how old he is, but he's an uncle, so let's say he's 60. My uncle is dizzy all day, every day, except when he's laying down. He has been to many doctors and they can't find anything wrong. Could you help? Okay, now you can think, okay, you know what? This Dr. Daryl, he's a smarty ass. Okay, well, that's fine. You can think that. But the reality is, okay, here's the deal. Think about this before you make judgment on me. If you go to a medical doctor, okay, what's he going to do? He's going to try to test to see what's wrong with you, okay? And if he does find something wrong with you, but he can't find something wrong with you unless it's a disease. because he's not looking for what you do each day. He's not looking to create a strategy for you. He's not looking for you to be happier and healthier. Did you hear what I just said? He's not looking for you to be happier and healthier. He's looking to say, well, will it be drugs or surgery? Or will we run more tests? Now tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. So it doesn't matter how many doctors you go to. They only have so many tests, okay? And then if they can't find a disease, they're not looking for symptoms. So if he came to me and said I was dizzy, remember the last time you were dizzy, you stood up too fast, or maybe you smoked too much pot or too much cigarettes, or you drank too much alcohol so you didn't have enough oxygen in you, so you were dizzy. That's what happens. You get dizzy when you don't have oxygen. But they're not going to say, okay, so let's take a look at what's stealing your oxygen. They're going to say, well, we don't have a drug for that. And we can't really do surgery on that one, can we? So the reality is, if you take a look, Heather, your uncle doesn't poop right. He also doesn't drink 3 quarts to a gallon of structured water a day. And I guarantee you he's not on a whole plant-based diet. And if he's eating any type of dairy, especially cheese, he's in big trouble. And how many dead animals can you eat before you feel like you're dying, right? So I'm getting just right to the punch. But Heather, if you go to my Perfect Day Guide, which is on my library, just go click on the Perfect Day Guide, and then go to the 4 pillars, have them take a look at the Perfect Day Diet, okay? Then you should go and click on in there how to become #1 at the art of #2, and have them watch that masterclass. Yeah, I know it's 6 hours, but in 6 hours, I'm going to show everybody out there how you got sick. You got sick because you thought you were having a good bowel movement, but you were pooping into your pelvis. You thought you had a good urination, but you didn't. Okay, you thought you were on a good diet, but so does everybody else. So does the other 85% of the population that is pre-diabetic and has autoimmune disease. Go figure on that one. Okay, I hope you don't mind me wearing glasses, everyone, but I really would like to keep them on. Okay. So, and the reality is, I will give you a money-back guarantee, Heather, that if your uncle wants to pay $150 and get a consult, fill out a case history, go to my webpage, click consult, the best $150 you ever spent. And I truly mean that. Click on consultation, go take it the consultant that you want to pick. That case history comes to me of your uncle. I talk to my consultants, and then what we do is we create a strategy from the minute he gets up until he goes to bed. And I will tell you, give me 6 weeks, okay, to 3 months, we'll turn him around, and he'll look 10 to 15, 20 years younger. Is that okay? Then he's going to feel it too, okay? Because it's what you do from the minute you wake up until you go to bed. It's the choices you make. They all say we have choice. No, we don't have choice. Who in the heck has choice? You don't have choice unless you know to not watch the regular TV, not talk to anybody. You can't talk to the majority of the population because they all think they poop good, pee right, eat right, drink right, live right, love right. And they don't. And that's it. Well, if they did, they'd be doing a lot better than me. And I want to find people that are doing better than me, because then I know how I can do better. You can't do better until you know better, but you got to know better people before you can do better. There it is. And you think you're going to go to a doctor? I don't care if you go to a doctor for 20 years. You're not going to get anything from that doctor except what every doctor's been programmed to give you. Drugs, surgery, more tests. Okay? All right? Go home, get your affairs in order. How's that sound? Barisha, doctor, please tell me, what is the problem when you have a back pain for 2 to 3 days at the end of your spinal cord? Well, then you're talking about your coccyx, which is down by your bum. So if you've got a pain there, okay, ready for this? You're not going to believe this one, but if you didn't fall on your bum, guess why? I just said it, because you got root rot. You're actually absorbing your poop, okay, into your pelvis. Now, think about this. You've got your spine. Okay, your spine comes down like this. Let's say this is your spine. Okay, the skin brush. Okay, so here's your spine here, right? Okay. Well, did you know that it comes out like this? Watch. your large intestine comes down, comes around, and then comes out, and then you poop, right? It's right here. So right from here to here, which is your coccyx and your sacrum area, right? You've got your large intestine sitting in front. Now, what if you were constipated? What if you lack tone? You're going to absorb that waste. So if you absorb waste, which is poop, bad bacteria and gases, then what's that going to do to the spinal column? What's that going to do to the tissue, your spinal cord, and the tissue around it? Well, it's going to inflame it because it's infected. Infection causes inflammation, which causes scar tissue formation, and then displace calcium from the bones, vertebrae, to try to calcify this area to protect you against the poop chute, right? And I'm right. And understand something. You give me a person that is booked for surgery, okay? I'm not talking about they got their spinal cord cut, but I'm talking about 99% of all those surgeries, and it can be reversed. You know, today people don't reverse anything. I'll just get a new hip. I'll just get mesh put into my, for my inguinal hernia. Or I'll just get a heart stent. Or I'll just get some plates and screws into my ankle. Listen, my partner and I, we were in Texas, and she fractured her leg, and she fractured it by 3 inches, okay, and it was about 1/8 of an inch wide, the fracture. They told her it could never heal. It was physically impossible, and that was on the fibia. On the tibia, she had a C fracture about this big, and they said both of these two ends of these big bones in her leg could break off if she hit the ground on it. And so they said, what we got to do is we got to strip back all the tissue, okay? And then we're going to get a plate on this side, plate on this side. We're going to screw it together. And I said, screw that. Screw that. I said, how long is it going to take? Well, you know what? With the surgery, they fib too. It'll take about 8 months to a year, but it could have taken up to a year and a half to heal a surgery like that. Now, do you want to know something? By using what we do, the crazy quack doctor that I am, in 14 months, we went back to the doctor, and it was completely healed. Okay, through SAC calcium, through the diet, I want to go into all the things that we did, but anyways, it was completely healed. And he said it was impossible for anything that to heal. And guess what? You know what? We took the impossible, made it I am possible. And the reality is, let me tell you something. Doctors are taught that the body no longer heals. That's why everybody doesn't even think about it. Well, I'll just have to live like this. I'll have to get the cane, the walker, the wheelchair. I'll have to buy a pair of Depends from Costco. They have a whole row of them now. Okay? So, you know what? We're all programmed, so you need to get it. We're just programmed. So anyways, so what you got to do if you got that problem is, here's what I would do. I would be doing belly button therapy, okay? Right? Belly button therapy. Go check that out on my DIY guide. In my DIY guide in the library, I have a video that shows you how to do it. I would be doing pelvic squats. I would be doing pelvic activation squats. I'd get a pelvic enhancer. I'd be doing daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold, cleaning my digestive tract out. And then I would get a clapper, and I would clap the bottom of my spine. What? Are you crazy, Dr. Wolfe? Absolutely. I'm so crazy. This here is one of the least expensive and the most powerful things you'll ever get. Now understand something. I did, if you go to my clapping video in my library, or my clapping guide, it says Clapping for Health. Go in there, watch the preparation video. It's almost 2 hours. Then you can go in and watch a review I did, which wasn't shot very well. I understand that. Enough people told me that. But you're going to get enough out of it. Then you can go clapping your heart and lungs for health. And I show you how to do that. But what I'm going to start doing, maybe this week or start early next week, I'm going to do the 12 days of clapping where I'm going to come on Facebook. I was going to say FaceTime. Come on Facebook. And I'm actually going to I'm going to start off with doing my head. I'm going to do my head, and then I'm going to show you how to do your neck. I'm going to show you how to do your face. I'm going to pull little pieces apart, and then we're actually be putting this up as a masterclass in the new year. But I'm going to show you how to do just little parts of the body for everybody who's got problems. So if you watch my Facebook, they'll be on there. Okay? All right. Now, that's a good start for the low back. Okay? Also, everyone, I want to tell you something. Oh, this is really important. There's lots of magnesiums out there, but this is called Mag Infusion. Oh, try this. It's a dream. And what you do is there's a little scoop in here. Take 1 to 3 scoops, put it in your mouth. It tastes a little metallic. It'll start to heat up. See what it does. See how it starts to relax your joints. See how it starts to really calm you down and make you feel peaceful. It just makes you feel like this. There is no magnesium like this. This is the only product that we could find that actually works like that. Mag Infusion, I love it. It's you will too, especially in these times. Why be stressed out? You're burning your magnesium out every time a family member, a friend calls, or something happens. All about COVID. You know, you just keep COVID out of my life. Out of my life. You know what? When somebody's lying, how often are you going to let them lie? Just because they've perpetuated it to 7-8 billion people doesn't mean I have to listen to it 7-8 billion times. I'm not going to listen to the COVID lie, okay? So nobody's allowed to get fearful with me. If you want to take action, you call me up and go, Dr. Wolfe, I think I got COVID. That's cool. What can I do? I will tell you. We'll knock that sucker out so fast to make your head spin. Because understand, it's just a cold and a flu. And the biggest problem about knocking COVID out is the belief here that more people are actually dying from it. People have always died from COVID. Clara, Dr. Wolfe, can you please give us the start date for the January Whole Life Coach course? Yeah, I can. It's right. I save it for the last of the show, so you got to watch it when you do these shows. I got to watch it all the time. If I go and I mention things just too often, I get rotten tomatoes thrown at me. Just trying to find it. Okay, got it. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Whole Life Coach, the next one that's available is March 13th, okay? March 13th. All right? Clara, the Whole Life Coach in January, that's sold out. That's sold out in 5 days. You got to understand something. We do small classes because it's all about the quality. It's not about the COVID. It's about the quality, okay? I know, guys. I've just had a real COVID day, okay, with people calling me. They're all freaking out, listening to stuff on the news and that. And you know what? Sometimes it just chews up my day. Nope. So that's the next one. Gracie. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. I went to one of your Wolfe Non-Surgical practitioners in the States for my TMJ and tinnitus. TMJ is back a few days later. Tinnitus is still bad. Anything else I can do, or does it take more than one treatment to work? First of all, Gracie, how long have you had it? And understand something. With tinnitus, are you on a perfect day diet? Are you drinking enough structured water? Okay. And with tinnitus, are you using it's called our Ear Restore? Ear Clear. It's called Ear Clear or Ear Restore. You can put it right in. It's a essential oil mixed with the jojoba oil. And you should be putting that in about 3 times a day. All right. You can also put in there silver bullet liquid and do a silver bullet liquid soak and also fulvic acid. But you should also be clapping. I'm going to tell you something right now. Okay. I have had people have had tinnitus so bad for 10 years. And if you go to my DIY do-it-yourself guide in my library, go in and watch Ear Restore. Okay. But if you start clapping and you do the Ear Restore program, you got to dedicate yourself to this. You've got crystallization, okay, and probably fungus in your ear, okay? And as far as the TMJ problem goes, I don't know who you went to. And understand something, not everybody who comes to me, and if they've and they come to me and they don't take my course seriously, it doesn't mean they're good. So you should have called me because I would send you to someone who I know is really good at it. I'm not going to send you to somebody who just plays Inky Dinky Schnitzel House. You know, just because you own a hammer doesn't make you a carpenter. And just because you took a course doesn't mean you're dedicated to it. Okay? All right? But there's nothing more powerful than Wolfe Non-Surgical. I offer a money-back guarantee to anyone. And when we work on a TMJ problem, you're going to know it in the first session. You can take that apart. So you might have went to somebody who just didn't do their homework, didn't get into it as deep as they should. Okay? All right. If you want to give me a call, give me a call. And if you do call me, anyone, just understand, I do get back to people. You got to understand, when you get right answers, you're not a pain. You're not a pain. You're not going to keep on searching. When somebody gives you a right answer, they give you a right answer. And the reality is everybody out there, you can call me. My extension is 5. Just make sure when you call, if you have a recorder, put the phone, speakerphone on, and make sure you tape everything I say, because in 5 minutes, I'll give you a 1, 2, 3, you know what I mean, on how you should do it. We're here to answer questions, just know that. Also with tinnitus, okay, are you drinking alcohol? Because guess what? If you drink alcohol, all right, then you're going to create what? What are you going to create? Well, you're going to create a lot of uric acid. Does everybody understand that? That it's uric acid crystals in the ear. And what else does it? Well, a lot of animal protein does it. Shellfish does it. Take a look and find out what creates abundance of uric acid. It's the same thing would be like gout in someone's toe. You can get it in your ear. You can get it anywhere in the body. Okay? So you got to really take a look at your diet and then take a look at the ear program. Wondering how long it takes to start feeling changes with the protector and bodyguard in the environment. Well, that depends on everyone, doesn't it? All I can tell you is that if you want to get the bodyguard, which this is a bodyguard, everyone, if you don't know what that is, it's a radionic crystal, and it protects you from 5G, from Wi-Fi, and from anything, electromagnetic smog, okay? And it also, it has different radionics in it for like nutrition, emotions, but mainly it's a 5G protector, okay? And it protects 7 feet from the head up, feet down, and then outwards 7 feet this way. And it depends on the person. You'll start to see your skin start to get nicer, okay? And you'll actually feel calmer. But it depends on how much stress you're under, right? It's all about stress. Remember, stress is the greatest killer. That's why they're trying to stress everyone out. You didn't notice that? You didn't notice how they've got the government, the medical system, and a lot of other things bullying us, like the media? They just bully us, right? Don't they say just the most ludicrous things? You know, concentration camps, everyone's going to get vaccinated, you'll never fly again, you'll not get groceries. I mean, whether or not this is true or not, this is all just to make you crap your pants and just go, okay, I'll do it. But did you ever notice when you give something away, you never get it back, do you? Yeah. So anyways, the bodyguard and then the protector, which is for the home, they're working right away. They work right away. There's no yesterday. There's no tomorrow. They work right away when you put them in their home. They start protecting you. Okay. Baudre, I have a friend trying to rebuild his immune system from years of drug abuse. Can you tell me which, if your products, is best to get for him? I'm going to keep saying this, okay? People like this, or people that are serious about their health, need to get a consultation. I give you a money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, just ask for your money back. But you're not going to. How would you like to have a coach, a guide for $150? We're going to create a protocol, and you keep calling us and calling us and calling us. Because as you grow, we grow with you. Okay, so somebody that has had drug addictions, I'd want to know what. But the reality is there's certain things that you can do that you want to do that. First thing is you got to hydrate, okay? Next thing, you got to get on a whole plant-based diet. The next thing is really do a whole plant-based diet with intermittent fasting. Then when you get the groove on, then you should join me for my 6-day water fasting challenge, which is happening on January the 12th. That's the next one. And then we do a 2-week primer Okay, then we're going to do 2 weeks where we just really teach people how to start looking after themselves, getting ready to do that 6-day advanced water fast. Okay, so I'd be looking into that. But I'd also, if he wants to change, he's going to have to change his friends. He's going to have to change where he goes and what he does. That's the biggest thing right there. You got to have new habits. If you don't start new habits, and if you don't change your personality, you'll never change your reality. So he's got to change to where he's been going and what he's been doing. Now, what else can he do? Well, tell him to take a look at, let me see here. Sinonian Minerals. This product here, it has 147 nutrients in it. So it's antioxidants, minerals, vitamins, everything. Cofactors to start building him up. And he probably would need to do like 2-3 times a day for probably about 3 to 6 weeks. And then he can come back down to 2 twice a day, which I'd say is a normal adult dosage. Okay, the next thing that he would want to do also is he'd want to get on iodine so he can start working his thyroid properly. I would take a look at Idorol and just take one of those. It's 12.5 milligrams. He'll want to do vitamin D. I do 15,000 IUs of vitamin D a day if I can't use my vitamin D crystal light. I have a vitamin D crystal light that'll juice up my whole body within 6 minutes completely with vitamin D. And it's so important, especially in this time of year, to get your vitamin D. It's crucial. You know, they tell you to get 800 units. Are you like kidding me? I mean, how come? Why did it change? Let me see. 20 years ago, it was 400. Now it's 800. Are you like kidding me? You're kidding me, right? I do 15,000. And when I get really going, and if I get stressed out or something like this morning, I did 50,000 IUs of vitamin D. I'll do 50,000 tonight. I'll do 50,000 tomorrow. I'll do that for 3 days because I felt a bit of a flu cold coming on. So I'm going to knock that sucker out of the park. And then I'll come right back to just doing my light. And if I wasn't doing my vitamin D crystal light, I would be doing 15,000 IUs a day with one K2. But I don't need K2 because I use, like I said, a vitamin D crystal light that you can see what I use. It's in, if you go to my shop on our website, it's under EMF/energy. Now, the other thing you do if you were a drug addict is this. You want to take a look at doing niacin flush. Okay, all right? So that's B3. And niacin flush, okay, what it does, okay, it's a B vitamin. And you start off, well, I'm not going to tell you how to do this because this is how I will do this at least once a year, and I'll do this because I like to flush things out, and it makes you go red. It flushes the blood to the surface. But what I'll do is I'll get on a really clean diet, and then I'll do skin brushing, and then I'll do like a salt glow, okay, all right? And then what I'll do is I'll start off with 50 milligrams of niacin, and then about 10, 15 to 20 minutes, you flush red, and it flushes everything out. And see, I skin brushed, I salt glowed, so that means everything's going to really come out, okay? And then people will actually work their way up to 2,000 or even 3,000 milligrams to really flush those toxins out. And also, if you were a drug addict or, hey, wait a minute, here's the secret. Come here closer. Guess what? We're all drug addicts. We're all drug addicts. Because there's drugs in all your foods unless it's directly from nature. If man touched it, it's got drugs in it. What do you think pesticides, herbicides are? What do you think those are? They're drugs. Okay? What do you think they put in all the milk products? What do you think they put in all the new and improved packaged products? It's got drugs in it. It's got chemicals in it. We're all drug addicts. My God, if you eat animal products and you've never done antibiotics before, you're already antibiotic resistant because you've been eating so much antibiotics in the cheese, the dairy, and the milk, and the yogurt. And you know, it's like this. I talked to a lady today, and her son's autistic, and she puts his supplements into what? Cow's yogurt. And that's autistic. It's going to blow him apart. You don't do that. Cow's milk is 20 times larger than mother's milk. And autistic, if you're autistic, you don't have a gut-brain connection. It's boom, broken. Digestive tract needs to be fixed. So you don't do that. You can do coconut yogurt and then make sure that it's not pounded with tons of fructose and things of that nature. But understand, we're all drug addicts, okay? Let me see here. I'd still get a consult That's what I would do. Rita, hello, doctor. I want to buy a few supplements from your shop. Can you recommend which ones are good for the flu and immune system? How about iodine, vitamin B and C? I have allergies from vitamin D. Well, if you have allergies from vitamin D, I know you could. Then get yourself, like I just said, a vitamin D, get a vitamin D light. And I got crystal panels on mine. So when the vitamin D light comes through, it becomes crystal energy, which it's mind-blowing. But you can buy just a vitamin D light, and that's around $1,400. But that'll do your whole body. And it'll do your whole body in like 2 to 4 minutes. And it is the most efficient way to get vitamin D when you can't get vitamin D. And that's the way I would go. You can call the office or take a look online on our shop. Let me see, what did she ask? Immune system. Well, there's a loaded question. Okay, here's what I want to say, okay? If you're watching this, Rita, please go to my Perfect Day Guide and take a look at the 4 pillars. Everybody, if you just go look at the 4 pillars, because you know what's going to happen here? I'm going to run through the products, and then somebody's going to go, oh my God, is this a Q&A or are you trying to pitch products? And I don't want that. I can't even hear that today, okay? So, but I'll give you a couple things, all right? Take a look at SAC calcium. That's amazing for immune building, okay? All right. Take a look at our infinite iodine, which it's not back up yet because of some mix-ups, but look at our infinite iodine. Look at our Sononium minerals. Look at our curcumin cayenne 5000. It's probably the least expensive nutritional product for getting rid of inflammation and bringing up your immune system. It's also the product that's used the most for cancer around the world. Did you know that? Yeah, curcumin cayenne 5000, believe it or not. And it works on all autoimmune diseases. Okay, and our fulvic concentrate, our humic concentrate for immune building, it's amazing. ATP, life crystals, again, are amazing. And with most people, I would tell everyone right now, because I don't care how much you've established that you've got emotional tone, okay? You should get our Mag Infusion. I wasn't taking it much before. I'm taking it much more now because I'm around stressful people all the time. So I'll do the Mag Infusion 3 times a day just to, because we burn our magnesium out so much. But people who get stiff, all right? Okay, people who get really stiff, they think that they're magnesium deficient. Well, they are. But what they're stiff about is the more you stress out, the more you pump your adrenaline, your cortisol, guess what happens? The more you are making your bones into Swiss cheese. Yeah, you're dumping all the calcium out into the body. And SAC calcium will put every little bit of calcium back into your bones. I don't care if you're 80 years old and you've got fractures happening and your bones are crumbling. It will only take no more than 9 months to a year to have the bone structure of a 30-year-old. End of story. That's how powerful it is. Go to my library, take a look at the SAC calcium guide. And in there, you will see tons of videos and documentation and scientific proof. And also, tomorrow night, we have Jay Lee, right? And Jay Lee's doing, tomorrow night, it's advanced water fasting and ion calcium, SAC ion calcium. Now, why are we doing that? Well, because if you do water fasting today, and you just do it with just water, you could end up causing fractures and pulling so much calcium from your bones because people are drug addicts. They're so acidic. They've got so many chemicals in them. And they're also so stressed out. I think you'll find it interesting. And then the next night is, what's he talking about? Autoimmune, is it? And the next night it's SAC calcium autoimmune diseases. And then Thursday we'll be here live doing a Q&A, and we'll answer all your questions. So if you got any questions on this now, put it underneath here today, and we'll pull those and we'll put those into the Q&A part of the show. Okay. Dr. Wolfe, can I still get Tesla glasses? Yeah, you can. Well, you can get them tomorrow too. But if you get them before 12 midnight tonight, Jennifer, it's 15% off. There you go. And these are Tesla glasses, everyone. Okay. And they don't block blue light. They turn blue light into healing light for your eyes and for your brain. And I do mean healing light. Okay. Joe, can you explain the difference between pineal and divine vine? They sound pretty similar. And ATP, thank you. ATP is exactly that. It's the only organic ATP in the world. All the rest of them are synthetic. The ATP is made out of life crystals like the divine vine and the pineal. But ATP, it's geared towards what? Energy. You want to talk about energy. Okay, let me see here. I drank about a third of a glass of ATP just before I started the show. And it gives you energy, not like caffeine. It's really focused. But what it does is it actually has ATP in it for energy, but it also triggers, because of the life crystals, it triggers your mitochondria to make more ATP, and it helps to repair your mitochondria. That is what Dr. Merkel, Dr. George Merkel, who is known as the Einstein of food medicine, he actually took this product to actually regenerate and restore his heart, which they said was dying. That's right. That's what he made. He made this product to do that. Now, pineal, which there's the pineal. So ATP is called ATP plus. Okay, there's ATP plus. 1 second. That's ATP plus, right? You mix this into here. So this is the actual life crystals, and you're mixing it into this fulvic solution. And that's how you get your ATP. Now, pineal, okay. Does anybody know why they put fluoride in the water? Does anybody know why they put fluoride in your mouth at the dentist office? Does anybody know why they put fluoride in your toothpaste? Actually, it doesn't harden your teeth. Thank you very much. When you're all done with that one, that was a bogus study. So let's make that perfectly clear. I welcome any dentist if they'd like to come on and challenge me. I will bring on Dr. Gerald Smith, who's one of the top biological dentists in the world. And we'll have a challenge, won't we? So here's why they do it. The reason why they do it is to calcify your pineal gland. Your pineal gland gives you higher thinking. Your pineal gland keeps you in touch with your spirit. Your pineal gland, once calcified, dumbs you down. So the pineal will work on the pineal gland, and it will also work on your brain. Okay, so with SAC calcium, and by using the pineal, we can decalcify the pineal gland and the brain. You might be able to do it with just the pineal product, but I wouldn't do that. I would rather go in there and restore my higher consciousness. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, that would be your pineal gland and your brain. So we can do both. You give me a person that's just starting to get dementia or Alzheimer's, and I'll give you a complete turnaround. How's that? Okay? Once you allow things to go too far, they go too far. You know how somebody says, well, you just went too far with that one. So the reality is we don't have a choice. Because if people were given a choice, I would be on national TV. I would be on TV all around the world. They would be wanting to share my information. Because the only thing I'm trying to sell is self-care and self-love. And there's no such thing on this planet. Because guess what? Even the majority of the population, and even some of my friends that I used to go to church with, okay, they can't stand when I say self-love. They think that I've broken away and joined some cult. Yeah, go figure. Okay, all right. Let's keep going here. Oh yeah, Divine Vine. Okay, well, Divine Vine it's the same bottle, same type of bottle, but it's a different product. Divine Vine is more for the thyroid, parathyroid, and for emotional balance, and it's more hormonal. There it is. That's the three of them in a nutshell, okay? And you can't take too much of it. And understand something. Once people start taking it, they don't get addicted to it, but they don't want to give it up either. It's like once you start really feeling good and you have a program that is now your prominent program called I Love You, Daryl. I'll take care of you, Daryl. I'll respect you, Daryl. You don't give up these things. And isn't it kind of funny how we never had any money before, but we have money for ice cream and Cheetos and beer and wine and all these other things, but we don't have money for this. Understand something. The day that we give up poverty thinking will be the day that we're not enslaved anymore. And poverty thinking about love, money, and everything else. Bear with me here 1 second. Okay. Okay, Agnieszka. There you go. Hi, Agnieszka. Okay, Agnieszka. Dear Dr. Wolfe, I'm 43 years old. What to do with my feet that are sometimes burning, sometimes feels electronic shocks, pins, and needles? Okay, first of all, remember when I was talking about the uric acid crystals? Okay, well, they're building up inside of you. And also lactic acid. Those two things are building up in your lower leg, your circulation. Your microcirculation is coming down, and your macro circulation is starting to slow up. I think if you take a look, Agnieszka, I can tell you have a bowel problem. You'll see that. Get on the daily cleansing tea if that's all you can afford. If you can afford the Tummy Love and Black Gold, go on those as well. You can call me if you want, but the instructions are on it. But feel free to call us. The other thing is make sure you're drinking enough water, and then look at my perfect day, the 4 pillars. Oh my God, if you started doing the 4 pillar exercises and doing the diet and doing the emotional work and then some of the supplementation like I'm telling you, and I would also get on the curcumin cayenne 5000. I would also be doing belly button therapy. If you don't want to buy one, make one. Look it up, everyone, okay? And so you can get a belly button buddy there just to give your belly button a kiss. And your belly button is the only button you should be pushing. Did you know when you do belly button therapy, you will release 50% of your serotonin, okay, and 40% of your dopamine. Go figure. So you can get a happy on anytime you want. But if you do it for 5 minutes, you'll be able to stretch 25% more. Go check it out and let me know what you think. I'm not kidding. It's the most powerful thing. It's more powerful than doing yoga. And I didn't tell you not to do yoga. But instead of doing yoga 1 week, why don't you do my pelvic activation squats, my crab stretch, and then go and do my pelvic enhancer, and then and my belly button therapy, and tell me what you think. How's that? Okay. Where were we here? The other thing you want to do is you want to get clapping. If you've got any part of your body that's starting to tingle or go numb, you got to go in there and clap it. And when you start clapping and you go and you look at my Clapping for Health guide and you watch the videos, if you get like a light purple or dark purple or black, or if you go red from clapping, that means you're healthy, but you want to clap fairly hard for 5 minutes. And if you clap there for 15 minutes, you're going to get a good read on what's going on. If you go red, we're healthy. If you go light purple, nah, not so good. A little toxic there, a little toxic blood, a little bit of toxins in the tissues. If you go a darker purple, then we know that you've got dis-ease going on. You do. And if you go black, that means you've got, what goes black? Well, things that die. So whether you want to believe it or not, that's bringing death to the surface. How do you bring death to the surface, for God's sakes? Oh my God, look at that. I did this in Dr. Wolfe and I went and bruised myself. No, you didn't. The bruising was in the tissues. The bruising was in the blood. It was in the interstitial, extrastitial fluid of your body. You were toxic. You brought it to the surface. And guess what? That's emotions that you embed into your tissues, issues in your tissues. Everything that's physical was invisible to start with. We're spirit first. Go ahead. Block your spirit. Go ahead and do that. Okay? Destroy your circulation. See what happens. You'll be a Susie Bruisey. That's what you'll be. And you know what? I'll have people go and they'll start doing this and they'll bruise. And you know what? That's your health. That's just telling you the state of your health. Healthy people do not bruise. Do they get tender if they bump into something? Yes. They do not bruise. Did you get that? Oh, you could punch me in the eye really hard. But how much does it bruise will depend on my circulation and my health, for God's sakes. How many people do you know that go, oh my God, I woke up this morning with a bruise and I didn't even bang into anything? Yeah, that's because you're the walking dead. That's what's happening. But if you went to the doctor, remember, I go to the doctor, he says there's nothing wrong with me. Remember the question earlier? Oh, I go to the doctor, he says I can't find anything. Well, because it's not a disease yet. Don't worry, we'll keep an eye on that for you. And then when we do find the disease, then we can give you the drug, and then we'll give you the surgery, and then we'll give you more drugs. And then guess what? The average North American has 9.1 surgeries. I don't know how the 0.1 got in there, but 9.1 surgeries in their lifetime. Go figure. Okay. So anyways, she feels electric shocks and pins and needles. Same as in my hands. Oh my gosh, she's crystallizing. Sometimes, but much less. Well, that's because what's happening is you get older, you have poor circulation, and guess what? If I threw a bunch of stuff in the water, it's going to sink to the bottom, right? It's not going to float to the top. So the hands and your arms are the floating at the top, but the legs, they're showing your circulation is slowing down, which means your heart is getting weaker. I didn't say you have heart disease. It's getting weaker because there's blocks throughout your body. The more blocks, the more displaced scar tissue, the more displaced calcium, the more crystallization you have, the more beaver dams you have, the more joint problems you have, you're going to cut your flow down. So your flow is getting cut down so much that your circulation is poor. You know it as well as I do. Your feet hurt all the time. They get cold easy. Okay, your legs are starting to ache and tingle. Yeah, you're getting a neuralgia in there, and that's because of this crystallization. Just like, with gout, right? That's uric acid crystals. It's like glass. You can't even move when you've got gout. Well, you're starting to get some gout in your legs, okay? This can all be turned around. Understand something, everybody. It's very rare that you cannot turn around your illness or your disease or whatever the heck you think. It is not, okay, genetic. It's epigenetic. And understand something. When someone says to you, well, this is all we can do. Well, that's because that's all they learned. Okay, when's the last time your doctor said, well, if you had 3 good bowel movements, if you drank 3 quarts to a gallon of structured water, if you got on a whole plant-based diet, if you did an ultimate coffee enema, or if you went on an advanced water fast, we could turn this around. No, he works for Big Pharma. God love him. Understand, nobody does emergencies better, but if you're going to go to your doctor full-time, then you are an emergency. Yeah, you're emergency here before you're one here. Okay? Same, I feel in my hands sometimes, but much less. It feels like bending of my feet triggers symptoms. Yeah. Well, why? Because guess what? You've got scar tissue wrapping around the nerves, going down through your leg, and you've got crystallization. So when that nerve wants to move, well, because here, look at, okay, if this was my leg, okay, so when I go to bend and go like that, I'm going to stretch, right? And then I'm going to go like this. So I'm extending. It won't. It'll pull. It's like somebody with sciatic. They have a sciatic pain going down their leg. They have to keep their heel off the ground or they limp. If they were to put their heel flat, that extra 2 inches or that inch to go down is just enough, because where the sciatic nerve has scar tissue around it, it can't slide through the sheath properly. So it gets pulled and it feels like you're going to pull and tear out. All of this can be reversed. Sometimes back of my head feels tension too. Well, yeah. Well, that's stress, right? I've got the weight of the world on my shoulders and it feels like there's a bear clamp on your neck. That's stress. That's what that is. Drop your shoulders, connect to the lion heart breath, and just let go. Do the belly button therapy. Do the pelvic activation squats. You've got to start doing this. Do the crab stretch, okay? But what you got to do is do what I just said. Look at the whole plant-based diet. Look at the 4 pillars in the perfect day. Look, get a consultation. Turn your life around. Are you worth $150? Most people aren't. You know that, right? Most people aren't worth $150. And when you come to us, we're going to make suggestions, but we're not out to sell. If you came to me and said, I'm absolutely broke, I can only afford this, it's still worth $150. Do you understand? I need you to get that. What are you worth? It feels like bending of my feet triggers symptoms more, and like ligaments are stiff. You hit it right on the head. Your ligaments. Okay. I'm gonna go into that in a second. Sometimes back of my head feels tension too. It feels all related. Dr. Wolfe, does it sound like calcium displacement? Okay, here we go. All right. So you know what? Every morning when I get up and when I go to bed at night, I call it the hour of power in the morning, the hour of power before I go to bed. I really try to be really quiet because our Creator just whispers. Our Creator does not yell. Our Creator totally loves us. Okay? Anybody that yells at you, I wouldn't call that love, would you? So, anyways, I want to tell you that that's when I get my best visions, right? I'm going to run through something as quickly as I can with you. But you can go and find this in my other work, like go to my A to Z guide masterclass, and you can learn all about this. And that masterclass is free to everybody until the new year. Just go into my library, okay? Let's take a look here. Whether we're talking about ligaments, tendons, muscles, how about organs? So let's say these are the tissue fibers. We're not going to say muscle fibers because they could be tendon fibers, ligament fibers, muscle fibers. They all run parallel, right? So whether you know this or not, every little muscle fiber that you have is not touching another fiber. It actually has fluid. That fluid, okay, can be blood flow, it could be lymph flow, and it also, so what we have in between every fiber is we have the flow of blood, lymph, and the flow of energy. Energy, do you get it? We are energy. That's what we are. We are electromagnetic light energy beings. Now, when we eat too many animal products, when we do too much dairy, when we drink too much alcohol, when we stress out and dump too much adrenaline and cortisol, we create, okay, what do we create? Well, we create lactic acid, okay, and we create other crystallization. So when we create too much crystallization in the body, you got to understand that lactic acid and uric acid, so lactic acid is sticky, uric acid is like broken glass. Now think about this. When we get the lactic acid in here, it can stick these fibers together. When the uric acid crystals come, they're like little shards of glass on here. So that's where the pain comes, right? They're like jabbing us. And now our tissues are caught together, so they're stiffer, right? Don't you think that would be, if I'm like this and I try to pick something up, I can't. Now what happens is, if it continues, lactic, uric acid crystals, more adrenaline, more cortisol because you're fearful, right? For the paper tiger is going to eat you that has no teeth. Because when you fear something that doesn't exist yet, it will kill you. False evidence appearing real. This creates inflammation now. So now it's stuck together, inflammation comes, and just like this. Okay, so I'm talking to a gentleman, his name is Paul, this is a true story. Paul actually makes beef jerky for a living. I didn't know that. I said, Paul, he goes, anyways, he wants, so my son Sage is a master trainer. And he's going to their place to teach them. He's going there for 1 week to teach 4 of them how to do the Wolfe Non-Surgical. The father just had spinal surgery and he's still stiff all over. And because they are a heavy meat-eating family and they're just realizing now they've all got aches, pains everywhere, they want to teach 3 or 4 people how to do the Wolfe Non-Surgical. So I'm telling him, okay, Paul, this is how it works. I said, if you were to take a piece of meat that would be 1 inch thick, and then you were to make it into a piece of beef jerky, which is 1/8 inch thick, it still has the same amount of fibers in it, but it's not elastic anymore, okay? It's not flexible anymore. It doesn't have circulation anymore. And I said, it's beef jerky. And he said, oh my God, we make beef jerky. Now I understand what happened to my dad. That's why he had to have surgery. He went and took the muscles in his back, and what happened was he made them into beef jerky. I said, you're absolutely right. But before the beef jerky came, he had so much infection coming from his large intestine, which we'll call root rot, which your large intestine is 85% of your immune system. God love us, you know. But meanwhile, the medical system won't even look at it. They'll just attack it. And I'm not attacking the medical system, but stop giving me antibiotics for everything. I've got a sinus infection. You'll give me antibiotics, and that kills the good bacteria in my large intestine. So, and antibiotics are in every animal product, aren't they? Unless they're free range, organic, boom. Okay, so now he says, wow, well, his spine had tons of scar tissue around it, but also he was missing calcium. But the problem, they said, was his discs, okay, should have been like, about a half an inch to a quarter inch to a half an inch. He said they were paper thin. And I said, yeah, but you know what? If we could have come and did the Wolfe Non-Surgical on his low back, and we would have done this, he wouldn't have had their surgery. Wow, really, he says? So anyways, yeah, so we're going to go there because there's a whole bunch of them. Some have elbow problems, hip problems, neck problems, abdominal problems from cesareans, fibroids, ankle problems from surgeries. So, they have a really big colony up there. Anyways, that's what we do. We go around to different colonies, and colonies really get this because colonies come together, big groups of people, and they say, we're going to do it for ourselves. We're going to look after ourselves. And that's what I'm telling you to do. You need to start looking after yourself. So anyways, so if you put a burger on the barbecue or a steak, you leave it there too long, it shrinks and it's tough. You can't even chew on it. But what would happen if we lovingly went in there and we were to open up the fibers again with Wolfe Non-Surgical? Got it? And then we were to use... and we were to melt the crystals, right? The uric acid crystals, get them out of there, and melt the lactic acid so it's not stuck like glue anymore, and get the displaced calcium back into the bones. Well, we can do it all. And I'll tell you, the first treatment you have with us, it'll be more powerful than all the other treatments combined that you've ever gotten. And we make that promise to everyone. So understand that, because it's easy to do, because your body's amazing when you do the right thing. Okay, where were we here? Got it. Triggers symptoms more like ligaments are stiff, sometimes back of my neck. We talked about that. And yeah, so understand, you can reverse all this, Agnieszka. And she's only 43 years old. I'm telling you right now, you're never too old to get young. Do you want to get young? See, here's the problem. I've been in pain so much. And I've kind of been not living the life I want. I'm just existing. I just don't even want to live anymore. That's what happens. And that's what a broken system does, is it breaks your immune system. It breaks your spirit. Remember something, just like the car that rusts out and the engine falls out, when the body rots, the spirit no longer wants to live there. So, I call it root rot first, then rotten to the core, and then everything else starts to go. The weakest links, right? Geneva, spiritual enlightenment. How important is this for healing? Well, are you ready? Until you feed your spirit, it won't be permanent. Until you feed your spirit, you won't be whole. And the reality is guess what? Until you feed your spirit and raise up your vibration, it's only going to be temporary. You can use willpower to get well, but guess what? It'll drain you pretty quick. You can feed your spirit and bring up your vibration and see miracles happen, right? There's many spiritual leaders before us, and they proved that. And understand something. Everything is about vibration, okay? Life is all about waves and vibration, all about frequency, right? And everything is mathematics. Do you know what the speed of light is? 300 kilometers a second. Yeah, it's actually measured. It's 300 kilometers a second. I don't know what that would be like. I think that would be like 300,000 kilometers a second, that is. So I think that would be like 210,000 miles a second. That is with the speed of light. And so when you feed the spirit, you could heal the speed of light. Not quite, but you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, that's why, Geneva, if you go into my library, you'll see it's called Braveheart 12 Loving Steps. Check that out, and if you like it, up until the 1st of January, you can join my online emotional training called Braveheart, okay? And you might like it. Anna, help with menopause, please. What can I take? Okay, right off the bat. Okay, yeah, there is menopause, but there's not menopausal symptoms like we think, okay? Understand something. If you want to get rid of menopausal symptoms, then what you got to do is the first thing, get the cork out. What do I mean by that? Well, if you wanted to get rid of menopausal symptoms, I'll make anybody bet, okay? And that is this. If you were to get your colon working right, like get on daily cleansing tea, tummy love, and black gold, okay, and then you were to say, oh, I'm going to even do the ultimate coffee enema. It's a coffee enema bucket, and you can see how to do a coffee enema in the 6-day advanced water fasting challenge and in the perfect day guide. And this is our special enema tea. And if you were to actually start doing those two things, and then you got on the perfect day diet, I don't believe you'd have menopausal symptoms. And understand something. Every woman right now is fighting to balance her hormones, and guess what? It's an infection problem. It's not a hormone problem. It's an infection problem, not a hormone problem. I will come on here and debate with anybody in the nutritional business or in the medical business that you can balance hormones if you actually do the perfect day. Perfect day diet, exercises, nutritional, and, okay, you do the proper detox. And meaning get the cork out. Get your bowels moving properly. Oh, but they do. No, they don't. How many people do you poop with? Well, maybe you need to have a poop with me every morning. We'll poop together. Because the reality is, okay, you may not believe this, but all I did was mainly drink all day. I had a teeny bit of broth. That was it. Okay, so tonight I'm going to have this really big broccoli salad. But the reality is tomorrow morning now, I'm going to have 2 or 3 huge bowel movements. Yeah. And then you'll go and have 3 meals and have this one little hard thing that'll sink to the bottom or it'll float because it's got all that gas on it, or it'll fall apart, or whatever the case may be. But the reality is when you start living right, the perfect day, your poop will be perfect. Your urination will be perfect. Yeah. You just have so much of a better life. You really will. Menopause. Understand something. Okay, I'll make this really quick. As quick as possible. Yeah, so you say, Daryl. It's already 5. What is that? 4:23? Yeah. Okay, all right. We'll go to 5. We'll go to what? 5? Yeah. That's 2 hours. I'm not going to get all these questions done. I can't take any more questions, okay? Can you let Tara know? Because then I'm going to be like, Okay, so there's always next Monday. Or if they've got anything to do with calcium, SAC calcium, we'll be doing that on Thursday. So here it is. Ready? First of all, you girls, okay, God love you. You know, you live longer and you're stronger than a man. You can take more pain, okay? And here's the deal. The period really does that because every month you're getting rid of the worst toxins in your body with that period. I know it's a pain in your butt. It's like worse than shaving. I know. I don't like shaving. I'm still shaving here 64 years later. Shave every day. So anyways, the period gets rid of the worst toxins. So those toxins come down. And then they come out the vaginal canal. Now, with doing that, it's a lifesaver, okay? Because if you ever get pregnant, okay, nature wants you to be as healthy as possible. Now, your period's starting to slow up. Guess what? It's turning off. So now you don't have the greatest life-saving device. It's leaving. Okay, you don't have the greatest youthful device. It's leaving. So now all those heavy-duty toxins are not going to be released in the period, which was a pain in your butt, but it was actually saving your butt. Now you didn't realize it, but you never were going to the bathroom that good. And you've been backing up your large intestine into your liver for years. So now if your liver and your colon were working right, you wouldn't have menopausal problems. And I will challenge anybody on my show with that. Anybody. Because understand something. Now the period's slowing down. Now the period's stopped. So now the burner never shuts down. You're always on high. So why do you think you've got night sweats? Well, if you're toxic, you've got to sweat them out. Why do you think you have got these mini fevers? Well, you get these fevers because guess what? You got to turn the burner up to burn the infection off because you don't have your period anymore. And so you got to get your bowels moving, you got to get your liver flushed out, and you got to get on a whole plant-based diet. Check out my 4 pillars. Now, as far as hormonal goes, I'll tell you one thing right now. You'll want to check out making sure you've got iodine in your arsenal, doing vitamin D in your arsenal, okay? What else? You'll want to do things like Divine Vine in your arsenal. But the reality is I just gave you what you needed. And also, you think you drink water, but you don't drink water. People think they drink water, and then they don't drink the right water. And the reality is, if you were to do things like tummy love or some fulvic and humic, that's just going to bring down any type of viral infections fast. It's going to bring down the heavy metals. It's going to bring down the acidity. Yeah. And then there's all the other tricks that we do, like the pelvic activation squats. Got to open up your pelvis, right? Isn't that the deal? Got to open up your pelvis. See, most people don't realize it, but, you know, I'll tell you right now, and I'll debate this too anytime. Here I am. I'm not going anywhere. That I'd say 90%, maybe 95% of all hip replacements are caused because of a rotting bowel. I will say 95 to 98% of all ovarian cysts, fibroids, bladder problems, okay, scar tissue in the fallopian tubes, you can't get pregnant, okay, 98% of all prostate problems, okay, are all caused because of that. Oh yeah, even knee problems. Oh, wait a minute, ankle problems. Yeah, that's right. So we've been taught to really not be nice to our large intestines. And if you don't believe me, go watch How to Become Number One at the Art of Number Two. It's a 6-hour training. It's a masterclass, free until January 1st. Okay? So just know this. Sometimes it feels like I've got a big mouth, but I can back it up. Okay? I can back this up. I got over 40 years of training, right? I became a colon therapist when I was 17 years old. So go figure, right? All right? I'll be 65. Now, let's keep going. Menopause, yeah. I'd get a consult. I keep telling everybody this. I'd get a consult. Layla, can you recommend anything that can help my special needs child stop puberty so early? I was talking to her already, and she's already doing everything I think she needs to. She's got her children on the SAC calcium. And also, I've went over some other things. But it's really about diet things. And it is hormonally. It is hormonal. But the reality is if we can get the colon... We always got to go to the colon and the liver first, no matter what the problem is, okay? It's like this. Get the cork out and change the filter. Get the cork out, change the filter. And special needs children, like the ATP is really good. The Divine Vine is really good. The Pineal is really good with them. Also, it's really good for them is getting them some iodine for their metabolism. But all autistic children or special needs children, their bowels are all messed up. They really are. That gut-brain connection, it just doesn't seem to be there. So I'd really focus on that. And a whole plant-based diet as much as possible. Stay away from the flours. Stay away from the sugars. And also, take a look at your home. Make sure the EMF is way low. Like hardwire everything. Don't have Wi-Fi. Do not live in a big condo building with a child like that. You will blow their brains out with all the EMF. Do anything you can to protect them. They're like the canary in the coal mine. Andrea, what causes migraines? Well, stress. What causes migraines? Well, stress. That's the main one, not drinking enough water. Taking in too many products that are made out of sugar and flour. And that's another thing. Could 5G make them worse? Absolutely. I have migraines with just aura. Not much pain at all, just numbness on side of body. Also, you're not connected to your breath. Learn how to do the lion heart breathing. Do this 3 times a day. Belly button therapy. Also, if you want to really help your migraines, get yourself a clapper, okay? Clap your neck, and then clap your occiput area, and don't be afraid to clap. You might think that's hard on the head, but guess what? You haven't seen anything yet. Wait till I start the clapping classes and you unleash your depression. You unleash your despair, your anxiety. You unleash circulation. Now I can feel the tingling in here. You know, it's all about circulation, everyone. I used to get migraines all the time right here because I had a really bad cut here. Maybe you can still see it. I was mountain climbing and I cut my head right down to the bone, and I was up about 10,000 feet, and I had to get it sewn, and I got it sewn with actually just some nylon wire. And then when I went down, this was in Kathmandu, I got stitches, and when I got the stitches put in down there, it was a real mess. By then, I cut it about that long, okay. And what happened was, then when I went back to Canada, they took the stitches out and they missed one. And so I keep telling them for 2 years, there's a stitch in here, I know it. And they'd go with their razor blade and try to find it. So anyways, I got this big scar tissue mass right here. Okay, and there's still a little bump right there. See a little one? It's almost gone. Well, it got so big because they said there was nothing there, and they kept slicing it, that it would cause me a migraine headache right here until I got Wolfe Non-Surgical, and I clapped it with the bumpy side. Now I clap my neck and my head at least 6 times a week, maybe 5 times a week for an hour. Okay, so that's 5 hours, 6 hours a week. So I'll clap other parts of my body as well, but I'm going to show you how to do all that. And understand something. I don't really care if people think I'm crazy, because the people that actually listen to me and follow through, they're going to save their life. They're going to change their life, and they're going to change the lives of their family. See, I don't care. I will never have government approval, because nobody's going to approve of me, because I'm not watered down and I'm not twisted and I'm not selling anything for them, and I don't cozy up to them. And it's not going to happen. And this is not me being a rebel and I'm fighting against them. I'm just trying to tell you that if you're looking for me to get approval, well, is he approved? Is he approved? Well, I'm approved by the World Organization of Natural Medicine, which is really the true naturopaths, not the ones that go to these naturopathic schools. To be a true naturopath, you stay on the nature's path. You don't go off of it. So let me make this perfectly clear. I don't need your approval. I don't need anybody's approval to go and help people. And remember, I'm the guy that's trying to show all these techniques that cost nothing. Because you know why? Because we are supposed to be family. That's right. We're supposed to be family. We're not supposed to be killing each other, lying to each other, okay, stealing from each other, putting each other down, the masked and the unmasked, right? The liberals, the conservatives, the red, the white. Oh my gosh. Enough already? They do this on purpose to us. What if we were to just love all our brothers and sisters right now? The game would be over. How much love is in your heart? Is your heart totally filled up with love from yourself and with yourself? Or is it only filled up 10% of yourself? That means you have a 90% chance of being hurt today. And hurt people hurt people. Yeah, like that's not happening. So I will have the best day of my life every day, no matter what everybody's thinking, what everybody's doing. And even if the whole world thinks that I shouldn't be approved, I don't care, because I approve of myself. And all I know is when I wake up in the morning, when I go to bed at night, if I've got a smile on my face and I go, yes, I live my day with integrity. And I honored and I respect and I totally love myself as my Creator did in the beginning and still does. I hope you get this. I'm very serious about this. And sometimes, I get a little serious, because the reality is there's more and more people coming on all around the world watching and calling us. We have grown, tripled in the last probably 12 months, maybe even more than tripled. And we keep on growing. And the reality is we're going to keep growing because we're going to keep giving. So what do you have to give to the world? And what did you give to the world today? This is not a test or a challenge. I'm trying to tell you that you're special. I'm trying to tell you that you're authentic, and there's a genius inside of you. And we all came here and we all have something special to give. And I need you to challenge yourself now, because we need you. The world needs you. So migraines, right off the bat, it's inexpensive. You want to get Mag Infusion, but you got to put it in your mouth. You can put it in a blender drink. It won't work as well. It works better than any other magnesium, even in a blender drink. But you put it in your mouth, and you do that 3 times a day, 1 to 3 scoops, and you're going to call and tell me, you're going to go, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then are you hydrating? Because if you get migraines, you need to hydrate. You need to do first thing in the morning, a liter of hot water. Okay, and what's in it? Well, you should be putting fulvic into it to reduce the acidity, okay, in your body, to reduce the heavy metals. Do that first thing in the morning, okay? And make sure you're doing daily cleansing tea. Get the cork out. Everybody gets a headache faster when they've got the cork up their butt, right? And then take a look at the coffee, the ultimate coffee enema, okay? So I would be looking at that. I would also, what else would I be doing? I would be getting on SAC calcium if it's affordable. I'd be taking the Sinonian minerals to get my balance there. And I'd also be on ATP, because ATP can help you avoid a headache because it really charges up your energy. But take a look at my 4 pillars and look at, my gosh, if, you know what? If you were to do 15 to 20 minutes of my Doc of Detox, lengthen, strengthen, detoxify exercises, stretches, okay, you wouldn't have your headache, okay, because we live in a contractual society. It's like this, right? Oh, you know, what's going on now? What's going on now? Hurry up, kids, get in the car. Why? I don't know, just get in there. So the reality is we don't even know how to calm down. Just calm it down. Learn how to connect to the lion heart breathing. And if you feel a headache coming on, if you've got a structure unit, this is called a water structure unit, breathe in here and breathe in structured air. I know you think I'm crazy already. It doesn't really matter. And also take a look at the EMFs in your house. So hardline all your computers. Make sure you turn the Wi-Fi off before you go to bed at night. Make sure you put your phones on airplane mode. Make sure you don't have anything plugged in around your head, around your bed. Okay, so there's lots of stuff. It's in my book. It's in the library. Okay. Again, I would still, if I were you, I'd still get a perfect day consult. All right. On one side, feels kind of stroke-like. Hard to move my eyebrow. Feel lightheaded and brain fog. Doctor told me it could be from tension. Not sure. I get them very often. Well, you got to break the cycle. So I would tell you to do the 4 pillars. Start connecting to the lion heart breathing. Get yourself a love band, life band. There's actually somebody asking what this is, but I'll explain it quickly. This is called a love band, life band. You get one every time you order from us. They're 50 cents each. It says Braveheart 321. I got this. So let's say right away I'm starting to get a little stressed. I go 321. I got this. I approve of myself. I love myself. There's a new sheriff in town. Everything's a program. So now we've all been programmed that COVID kills. We need a vaccination. Can't go near anyone. Can't love anybody. Okay. Got to wear a mask. Okay. All right. Life will never go back to the same. You're not allowed to go to movies or bowling. And you can't go to weddings and you can't go to funerals. Okay. All right. So everything is a program. Everything is a bloody program. And right now it's pretty bloody for those who are buying into it. Okay, so everything's a program. So your migraine, sweetheart, will stop when you change the program. Everything that we have physical, we can treat physically and nutritionally and through diet. But if we don't want to take a look at the emotional aspects and rewire our brain and change parts of our personality, then our reality will never change and you will be dealing with migraines for the rest of your life. Again, get a consult. And if you don't like it, get your money back. And I mean that from the best of my heart because people just won't do this. You know, people will call me up 2 years later with the same questions. Can you believe it? Yeah, I don't have enough time and I don't have enough money. Well, you will when you're in pain to the point that you're suffering so bad. You'll find it. Okay? All right. Gracie, I'm using SEAC tea for cancer prevention and improve health. Can I take your detox tea with it? Absolutely. they work differently. The daily cleansing tea is to gently detoxify every detoxification organ in the body. Because guess what? Where do we get this from? Yeah, how's it going? Well, you know what, man? I'm thinking I'm going to do a cleanse. Oh, yeah? How often do you do those? Oh, every 6 months when I feel really crappy, man, I do a really deep cleanse. Well, you know what? It's not real smart. Doing a deep cleanse releases so many toxins, it'll kick the crap out of your system. Yes, you survive through it, you'll be tired, and you will feel better because you'll bring your infection down, you'll bring your inflammation down. But why wouldn't you just learn how to create the perfect day and then repeat it every day and just be bloody well energetic and happy? Think about that one, okay? All right. Joe, what to do for an ovarian cyst on 17-year-old? How to solve it without surgery? A 17-year-old, when she has an ovarian cyst, she hasn't pooped, and don't tell me she has. She has the worst bowels in the world. So understand something, okay? Where you poop from is called your anus. Then you come up for your rectum. And then you have your sigmoid colon. Looks like a dog leg. Okay, so on either side where it comes to make the turn, you've got your both ovaries sitting just 1 inch away, maybe 1.5 inches away. And when the poop sits and you're constipated and you're bloated, every time you're bloated, I hope you know you're rotting. Did you get that? Every time you're bloated, every time you're cramping, every time you have diarrhea, every time you can't go to the washroom. So think about how many times that is. Now, when that waste comes in to her pelvis, guess what? Would you rather she had ovarian cancer? Would you rather she had an ovarian cyst? The cyst is the pustule, and it's collecting all the infection. And believe it or not, are you ready for this? I don't know if you live near me, but if you do, I'll work on you for free. And I'll go in and you give me, how's about this? 10, 15 minutes? How's that? I only want 10, 15 minutes. I'll gently use my elbow. It's called Wolfe Non-Surgical. I'll pull the fibers apart and I'll increase the blood flow, the lymph flow in the area. And then the cyst will let go and the infection will be gone. Is that good? But the reality is if your daughter does not get on the daily cleansing tea morning and night, tummy love and black gold, and then consider coffee enemas, okay? We need to, because we know that even though she's 17, she's been constipated since she was a little girl. I didn't say she didn't go to the washroom. I said she's complaining of tummy problems and constipation problems since you can remember. And that's the God's truth. And she doesn't drink enough water. It's probably not structured water. And she's probably eating dairy and lots of flour products and sugar and lots of dead animals. Hey, come on. You know what? People that eat a whole plant-based diet, at least 80%, and they do the daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold, and you don't even have to do the coffee enemas, but if you could wrap your head around it and flush the what? Flush the what? Hate out of the liver, because the liver will store hate on an emotional level, but it also does, your liver does over 500 jobs, and this little girl's liver has got some hate stored in it, and it's clogged up, okay? She's not letting go. Why is this little girl letting go her bowel, okay, which is letting go? I'm ready to let go of something. I'm angry. And then there's the anger, okay? And then the stubbornness is in the bowel, and then the hate is in the liver. And guess what? You don't believe me? Well, why do you think you get a gallbladder attack? Because when you get so hateful in your liver, then the hate goes down into the gallbladder, and then you have a gallbladder attack. Yeah, but then you're going to say, well, I had a gallbladder attack because I had gallstones. Yeah, well, those are calcium and cholesterol, and you get the cholesterol because you're so acidic. Now, you get so acidic because of emotional and nutritional problems. And then you're pulling calcium from your bones, and so you get a calcium deposit, and they collect into the gallbladder, but you got the calcium that first was going into the liver to try to buffer down the pH in the liver so the liver didn't become cirrhosis or fatty. And guess what? Today we've got 8 and 10-year-olds that have fatty livers because parents feed them crap. Listen, if a parent eats garbage, the kids even eat worse because they'll go out and eat a meal and they'll give the kids a kiddie meal that's full of flour, sugar, and chemicals. And that just makes them into alcoholics later. And that is food corporations. Here's a really cheap meal for your kids. Lots of flour, lots of sugar, so we can get them addicted, so later they'll become alcoholics. You know, the government should not be allowed to make any money off of hemp or alcohol or vaping. And they've got all kinds of taxes. And don't tell me that they care. They don't care. They got to pretend they care. All right? They should be not making 1 cent off of it. Yeah. Anyways. Got that off my chest. Okay. All right. Ovarian cyst, I've said enough. Yeah, I think I did. What do you think? I think I said enough. And Mott. Hi, doctor. My mom is 72, having lower back pain in beginning. Now is spreading to upper legs. Pain medication is not working. Well, pain medication is saying, shut the hell up, cut off the pain so the brain doesn't feel it, okay, or see it. But the damage is still going on. Drugs don't heal. Okay, let's all say it together. Drugs don't heal. Drugs don't heal. They tell parts of your body to shut up. Did you ever notice when you do that, another part blows up? Okay, all right? That's how it goes. I'm not telling you not to do drugs. You do as many drugs as you want. If you can't handle pain, you do drugs. But if you stay on drugs, you'll become a druggie. What's the difference between street drugs and pharmaceuticals? Some of those pharmaceuticals are just as bad or even worse. I am not putting it down. Drugs have saved lives. Surgery has saved lives. But when drugs and surgery become part of your lifestyle, they take lives. Anyway, 72 years old. She's constipated. Trust me. It's all dried up in there. Lacking tone. You got to get her on the daily cleansing tea. Tummy Love Black Gold. Please call me. And then get her on the perfect day diet as much as possible. She's 72, so she's not going to want to change. You know, old dogs, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Well, understand, she's not a dog. These aren't tricks. But the reality is you know what? Some people will actually say to me, Dr. Wolfe, I don't want to change my diet at all. I'm too old. I love what I do. If you can just make me feel better. Well, you can do that. We can do that. We can do it. Get a consult for her if you want, but at least get her the daily cleansing tea, Tummy Love Black Gold, and also get her some DMSO rose cream. Anybody who's got muscle pain, joint pain, get DMSO rose cream for the muscle pain, like on the back part or the more meatier areas. For the joints, you can get DMSO gel. It's more powerful for the joint areas. And then also get Pain Away essential oil and Muscle Restore. Okay, and I'll tell you how to use them. You can call me. It's not hard. You just use a little bit of DMSO, rub on the area where the pain is. If it's more like on the back of her legs, it's DMSO rose cream. If it's the joints, you can use just a little tad of DMSO gel, rub it on. It helps to increase the circulation. It'll feel a little bit itchy, but you'll watch. The pain will come down and it'll start to loosen up. And then you can also put Pain Away on it if it's really painful. And if you're trying to heal damaged tissue, use Muscle Restore. And you can put Pain Away and Muscle Restore on as often as you want throughout the day. More the merrier. Just a few drops, do it often. It doesn't get rid of the pain. It brings up the vibration to heal the tissues. That's what essential oils do. Okay? So we're not talking about telling your body to shut up. We're loving your body to heal up. Okay? All right. But just know that if you can get her to a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist, one treatment is going to turn around her back to the point she's going to go, this is amazing. Just got to pull that beef jerky apart. You know what? You can actually take beef jerky and bring it back into beautiful, connective, life-filled tissue. End of story. You know, it's one thing for me to have a big mouth, but then it's one thing for me to back it up with a money back. And that's what I do all the time. Because people aren't used to people like me, and they're not used to Wolfe Non-Surgical. It's the most powerful therapy in the world. Whether you want to come and be certified in it, or whether you want us to come and teach your family or you how to do it, or you want to come to us, we're going to follow through. Jerry, what is the best procedure for a hernia? if it's a hiatal hernia or is it an inguinal hernia. Hiatal hernia, I can reverse that. With Wolfe Non-Surgical, I can pull the stomach valve back. I can pull the stomach part back through the valve. It's a little painful, but we can get it back through. If it's an inguinal hernia, which is most of the time, if you get mesh, just know that's a foreign object and you can get into big trouble. Big trouble. Why don't you find out what mesh does? And understand, if you ever have an inguinal hernia, don't get mesh, get it sutured. And in Canada, you have to go to Toronto to do it, because right across Canada, they were all taught to use mesh. Because once you put the mesh in, you cause all kinds, it's like putting a rebar in cement. It gets locked in and tons of scar tissue around it, and you'll tear out with another inguinal hernia right beside where the mesh is, or you'll actually grow a fibroid or a tumor, because it's like, have you ever had a sliver in your foot? Infection, inflammation, irritation. After a while, you don't feel it, but it's continually irritating, and mesh will cause problems anywhere from your toe to your brain. That's right. You don't put foreign stuff in your body. You don't put screws, bolts, plates, rods, valves, unless you give nature a chance. You give your body a chance to heal. You forgot that you can heal. Don't ever jeopardize your life. Go do whatever you want. I didn't tell you not to have the surgery. I didn't tell you to do it. But why did you actually give your body a chance? Did you ever say, I'm going to give up my bad habits and start living right? No. I'm just going to keep on living wrong, get the surgery, and die miserably. There, that's great. And I'm going to die broke too, because of all the drugs and surgery and all the missed work and all being so miserable. I'm going to become a drug addict or an alcoholic or something. Jerry, if you want to give me a call, we can talk about your hernia, or you can just explain it and I'll talk about it Monday if you want. Next Monday. Judy, what to do about no cartilage in my knee? I don't believe it. Okay, I'll tell you why I don't believe it. Okay, so you can take this to the bank. We have somebody coming here, at least one to maybe a half a dozen people with knee problems every week to the clinic. And understand, I have had nobody go for surgery for their knees, even when they've been booked, in the last 6-7 years. Did you hear what I just said? The cartilage is there. It's calcified and crystallized, and it doesn't show up on the x-ray. And also, cartilage will actually grow back and heal. That's all I want to say. But if you want to believe it's bone on bone, you've got no cartilage because the doctor told you that, that's fine. But I've proved it wrong over and over and over again. That's just like bone on bone in my spine, bone on bone in my hip, bone on bone in my ankle. I mean, you know what? I have heard this more than I can even count. And am I always right? No, of course I'm not. But the reality is I am 99% of the time, because I'm not right. Your body's right. Your body knows how to heal. And understand something. These guys, that's not their fault. When they look at the x-ray, it looks like there's nothing. But understand, what happens when you have inflammation? You get calcification. It gets calcified. So the tissue's still there. I rest my case. So, you know what? If you want to get your knee better, go see a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist. Take a look at our clapping videos. Take a look at DMSO, like I just said, the gel. Okay, and then take a look at a Pain Away essential oil. And then learn how to start clapping. That's a good start. But the reality is this. Knees blow out, not most of the time, not because even a sports injury. Or you had a sports injury when you were like 18 and now you're 60 years old. But nobody went in when you tore a little bit of the cartilage. And now you have the scar tissue in there. And guess what? Give me 15 minutes. Give me a half an hour maximum on any knee. And I will show you that I can reverse it. Money back guarantee. Did you hear what I just said? So I'm just going to keep saying this because you got to say it 10,000 times for the brain to make it a prominent thought. So I'll just keep saying your body can heal. I'll keep saying don't go to surgery first. I'm not telling you not to go, but you know, how long would it give your body a chance? Make an appointment, come in, check it out. Okay? Amont, hi doc, my mom is 72 having lower back pain and beginning to, okay, we already did this one. Next, what is structured water? Okay, you need to go to my library because we're gonna have to finish in 5 minutes. And I'm only gonna get the questions that came in live today. I'm not even going to get to the questions that I had. And I think I have another 14. So I'll leave those. They'll come first next week. Okay. So anybody that was on Facebook that had something that was a question, I promise I'll do them next Monday. And if you don't want to wait till next Monday, my extension is 5. Be patient with me. And if you don't hear from me in 24 hours, it's because I dropped the ball because I'm human, but call me back. You're never a pain in my butt. Did you get that? This is a structure unit. And you can put this under any tap around the world. I do. And I drink the water. Now you're going to think I'm crazy because there's no filter. Well, what do you think rainwater is? What do you think water is coming off a mountain? Not spring water, but mountain water, fast-moving water, rainwater, and this is structured water. It's called fourth phase water. And even though you might still have a chemical or something or a heavy metal or something in here, it's not going to poison the body because frequency, the invisible dictates physical. So do you understand that? So get yourself filtered water, okay? But anybody who's drinking the water out of those Costco plastic bottles, you're drinking cancer. Anybody who drinks out of a plastic bottle and trusts someone else to filter their water is ridiculous. You know, unless it's been ozonated, you could get reverse osmosis or distilled, but never drink reverse osmosis or distilled unless you structure it. Because guess what? Water is a food. It takes energy to digest, and structured water has 1,000% better hydration to the cells than any other water. Now, people will say, well, what about Kangen water? Well, people make a lot of money off those machines. They're overpriced. But Kangen water is healthy. It's really good. But anything that's plugged in is not structured water. Structured water is called no action, and it's done naturally. And that's what this does. You can give me a structured water before anything else. Tell me you spent $10,000 on a system, and I'll tell you if it's not structured, you're not hydrating yourself. So a Doc of Detox structure unit, I'll give you a 90-day money-back guarantee that I don't care what unit you're using, add this to the mix. And if you're not using anything else, then use this. You got 90 days. So structured water, when you structure it, takes the memory out of everybody who drank it. It also, even if there's toxins in it, it changes the frequency so it can't bother you. Let me ask you a question. How is it that when it rains, it can rain for only like 10 or 20 minutes and everything jumps up for joy? Meanwhile, we got Bill Gates putting in chemtrails, which are plastic and aluminum, and we've got all this heavy metal still in the rain and everything like that. But it's not killing the crops. It's not killing the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees. Yeah, God was smart. God created structuring. That's right. And so what we do is we create it on the ground, and it's called Doc of Detox structure unit. We also have them for your showers. We have them for the whole house. We have them for a farm. Yeah, they're on our website. Poetry, Dr. Poetry. That's a nice name. What do you recommend for snoring? Well, first of all, clean out your bowel, clean out your liver, like we've talked about. Do the ultimate coffee enema. Get on daily cleansing tea. And if you can't afford it anymore, then okay. But if you can do the Tummy Love and Black Gold, because those 3 look after your whole digestive tract. I mean, that's just the highway to life. And then the other thing is get off of all dairy, get off all flour products, okay? Stop drinking alcohol. Anything that creates inflammation will cause irritation, which causes a mucus buildup. Okay, so you got to understand. The mucus that we get and the snoring is congestion, and that's from infection to inflammation to mucus formation. Did you get that? Also, start get lemongrass, our essential oil, or any of our essential oils, and put them in a diffuser, and you can have those go. But also, one second, do I have it here? Yes, I do. Oh, everybody out there that does SAC calcium, just know that you can actually nebulize it. Yeah, that's pretty cool, eh? So here, that's me nebulizing right now, silver. So you can breathe it in. If you snore, you should be nebulizing in through your nose, okay? You can do the silver. You can also do, here, let me see. This is called Silver Bullet, and you can buy a whole quart of it. It's inexpensive. Okay, it's a nano silver, and you can nebulize it like I'm doing here. You can also nebulize Bright Eyes, because that's the only fulvic acid you can actually nebulize properly. Did you know that, in the world? And you can actually put this in your eyes to get rid of any type of eye conditions. But you can put that in here too, and you can nebulize that. And for those of you who really want to really bring your game up, because SAC calcium is the only calcium in the world that actually is a real calcium product. All the rest of them cause the problems that they say they're going to help. There is no other calcium that works. And if you don't believe me, go to SAC guide in my library and go watch all the videos, or join me tomorrow night. I'll be live on here talking about SAC, ionic calcium, and advanced water fasting, and why you have to have it when you're water fasting. Okay, that's called Merigen. It's the strongest one. And you can actually nebulize that as well. To what? Well, just think. If I breathe that in, what am I going to do? I'm going to decalcify my pineal gland, my brain. If I take it in through my mouth, I'm going to take it into my stomach. If I do it in through my sinuses too, I'm going to get it into my lungs and help to decalcify. So, yeah, that's called a nebulizer. Believe it or not, we used to sell these. You can get them on Amazon. But what happened was when COVID came, the government actually took 300 of our nebulizers and threw them in the garbage. Yeah, because now it's a medical device and I'm not allowed to sell it. Right. And the reality is I was selling it for like about $35. But you can shop around and you can still get them. So I would really take a look at nebulizing. Okay? But you got to understand something. You know, unless you're going to clean out your detoxification organs, your sinuses are always going to be plugged. As long as you're going to drink beer, and as long as you're going to eat refined carbohydrates and things like ice cream, you know, when people get snacky at night or they need an alcohol drink, it's not them. It's actually the fungus inside of them saying, honey, feed me. What do you suggest for insomnia? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. If you've got insomnia, you should get yourself an Avicen. If that's too expensive, don't do it. Right now, you get $500 off. But an Avicen is one of the best things for insomnia. Also, if you can't afford that, at least get the magnesium. Try 1 to 3 scoops, preferably 3, about a half an hour before bed. And you're going to be like, I think I'm ready for bed. And if you've got insomnia, it means that you are terrorizing yourself with your mind all day. Oh, yeah. And you didn't drink enough water because your mind is burning up. Okay, so if you're a woman, you're not doing at least 3/4 of an ounce for every pound. A man, a woman or a man, that's what you got to do, or a child. If you're not doing that, you're not doing the basic amount of water. Did you know it used to be a half an ounce, but now it's 3/4 of an ounce? Do you know why? 5G, Wi-Fi, and all the other toxins. Let me tell you something. Don't you dare let anybody tell you that, oh, don't drink too much water, you'll burn out your kidneys. Are you like out of your skull? You're not going to burn your kidneys out. They're a water pump. They love it. Okay, just drink your water. I haven't heard anybody drowning lately. And understand something. You ask any kidney patient, and they'll tell you they never drank water. They drank Coke. They drank alcohol. But they didn't drink water, and it definitely wasn't structured water. Okay. Jennifer, there's only 2 more and we're done. Jennifer, I've been diagnosed with, I can't read this, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a group of rare genetic connective tissue disorders. You know what? Okay, all right. You can tell me anything that you want, okay? You can tell me anything that the medical system has made up. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. As soon as they find a new virus, a new bacteria in a tissue, whoever finds it, we get their name gets to be attached to it. Okay, fibromyalgia. There's no such thing as fibromyalgia. That just means pain in your muscle fibers. Okay, colitis. That means inflammation in your colon. Sinusitis, inflammation in your sinuses. Okay, all right. Do you want to keep going? Polymyalgia, which means you have pain in many muscles. Okay, arthritis, which means you have pain, inflammation in a joint. Big deal. It's reversible. But we got to give them Greek names, and we got to give them names that are just from outer space so that they belittle all the little people. They belittle everyone. Oh, my God. I've got, what is it again? I've got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Whoa, really? Wow, wouldn't want to have that. 1 second. I am not making fun of this person. I am trying to tell you that we can heal ourselves Why doesn't somebody talk English? Okay, so let's talk about the definition. A group of rare genetic connective tissue disorders. First of all, it's not genetic. It's epigenetic. It's not genetic. We already proved that that we do not pass on our diseases. Okay, there's very few that there is. And understand something. As soon as you believe that you've got a genetic connective tissue disorder, I'm not going to debate with anybody about this. I'm going to tell this lady here that I will refund her everything she does if she doesn't seem to be able to reverse this. And I'm going to tell you something right now, that God did not create faulty products. Man creates faulty products, and man's a liar, okay? A bloody liar, all right? So symptoms may include loose joints. Loose joints, that's losing tone in your tendons and your ligaments, and it's a circulation problem. Joint pain, inflammation in your joints. Well, anybody can have that, okay? Stretchy, velvety skin. Lacking tone. Where's the nutrition here? I guarantee if I talk to Jennifer, we're going to find a bowel problem, and we're not going to find a good diet. And we're going to find she may be on drugs already. And abnormal scar formation. Anything. Okay, what's abnormal? Abnormal scar formation is arthritis. Abnormal scar formation is gout. Abnormal scar formation is from colitis. It's all about inflammation. When you've got inflammation, what happens? You get inflammation, what happens? Do you know what happens? You break down tissue. Tissue gets break. It's tissue rotting. So when you have tissue rotting, the body sends in fibrin to try to wall off the inflammation so it doesn't spread. So as long as the inflammation stays, the more fibrin comes, it walls it off, and that gives you your scar tissue. I know, I'm right. I'm right about this. I don't want to hear this craziness. I mean, I will. I mean, this is fun, right? This is fun, isn't it? I'm just trying to tell you that why does it have to be a mystery? Healing is a mystery. Oh my God, we got all the greatest doctors and all the greatest minds together, and they couldn't figure out why he farted. You know what? You might think I'm being a smarty here, but the reality is, if we're so intelligent, why are we always just trying to get rid of the symptoms, never get to the cause? And why aren't we giving people back their power? Did you not know that you're being stripped of your power with COVID? A cold and a flu, and you're going to give up your family business, and you're going to lock yourself down on the second lockdown. You're going to have the crappiest Christmas ever, unless you're emotionally prepared for all this, which I am. I've already planned my Christmas. It's going to be amazing. Nobody's going to ruin Christmas for me, or this moment, or today, or anything else. And I'm going to think outside the box. These people don't care. And they're the ones who wrote the book for medicine. Think about it. What is medicine health? It's all about drugs and surgery. Seriously, let's wake up. So the same people are giving these names here. So the reality is, let's give all these names that nobody can understand. Let's never tell anybody what they can do for themselves, and then tell them we'll keep an eye on it. I purchased Tummy Love, Black Gold, and Cleansing Tea. Any other recommendations? Yeah, get a consultation, Jennifer. Because guess what? Because you already bought into this. You bought into that it's genetic, so there's not much you can do except slow down the progression of you dying, okay? And it's in our heads. It's not you. There's nothing weak about you. That's a really weak belief. Well, it's genetic. My weight is genetic. This cancer's genetic. My father had it. My mother had it. It's like Angeli, what's her name? Angeli Jolie. Okay, she got both her breasts cut off. There was nothing wrong with them because there was a gene in her family. Have we all just lost it? We're losing it, right? I don't blame you. You got to stay off the news. You got to get involved with nature. You got to hug and kiss your family to beat the band. And you got to put a slight smile on your face. Connect yourself to Lionheart breathing, okay? And you got to tell yourself how amazing you are. You have unlimited potential, and you're going to think outside the box. And this is just an adventure, and you're going to be the hero of this story. Jennifer, you give me a call. It'll take me 10, 15 minutes, and I'll prove to you that I'm right. Okay? Well, call me tomorrow. We will go through, and if you don't get me tomorrow, I usually get a lot of calls. Call me back on Wednesday, and I promise, just keep calling. Call me. I'm going to answer your questions. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Oh my God, Dr. Wolfe, I don't want to bother you. Bother me. Oh my God, Dr. Wolfe, I won't be long. Slow down. Explain it. Let's walk through it. Let's prove to you that you're amazing and that you can heal. I'm watching from Australia. Absolutely love your lives. Can I book an online consultation? Yes, you can. Maria, I want you to understand. Excuse me. I need a drink, everybody. I talk too much. Fulvic, cayenne, lemon, and some honey. Maria, when you book the consultation, okay, pick the person you like the best. Just go to docofdetox.com, click on consultations, pick the person that you vibe with. It's all about vibration. That case history comes to me. I look at the case history. I call, it could be Tara, it could be Mary. I'll call them, okay? And I'll say, okay, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, this is what I would do, da-da-da-da-da. We talk about it. They tape it for themselves. And then they take a look at your history. They come on with you. They're on with you for an hour. And it could be a little bit more. And that's $150. And then when somebody wants us to write up everything that we've planned, if you wanted them to type it up, they charge you $50 more. That's it. I make this plan. Understand, the Doc of Detox does not make any money off the consultations. By the time we pay everything, I think we make $17. And I'm not going to lie about it. The reality is that we have really great practitioners consulting you, and you're going to get your information, and you're going to be on your way, and you're going to get started in creating your perfect day. Now, after you pay for that consultation, $150, you do know that you can call as often as you desire, and as long as you're doing your part and we're doing our part, you're going to heal. Okay, and look at God is good, God is great, and He created something amazing called your body, okay? And you've been sold a big line of BS, dysfunctional belief system, that you're too stupid to heal. Your body forgot how to heal, and it will heal. And remember something, the more you embrace nature, listen, I don't care what they throw at us. All I know is when I get done here, I'm going for a walk. Right across the street from me, we have a provincial park. And it's an old volcano, and there's a path there, and we're going to be going for a walk. Even though it's dark, we take a light and we go for a walk, and we're going to get some fresh air, hug a tree, okay? And I'm going to have a big fat broccoli salad tonight, and then first thing we do though when I finish the show is I'll go downstairs, I'll hydrate, and I'll do a half an hour of Doc of Detox pelvic stretches. I really am. I'm not making this up. I'll go downstairs. I'll do the pelvic activation squats. I'll do the crab stretch, okay? And then I have what's called a trainer where I use my body weight to try to do some toning as well. Just a half an hour. So I'll do a half an hour and just unwind, right? And that's it. That'll be my night. So let me see here. Bear with me. I have to get this to come back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just going to go over a couple things with you, and then we're finished here. Let me see, where are we here? I'm trying to get this logged in because I didn't do the questions today. The computer shut itself off. Everybody, thanks for your patience. Anyways, you know why I am the way I am? Because when we're talking about really serious topics, as you can tell, I'm a little bit of a drama queen, king, whatever you want to call it. But I gotta loosen up and try to make heavy topics and have fun at it. You know, if I didn't have fun at what I did, I would never want to do this. But just understand, I really love my job, and I really love everybody out there. and I truly mean that. You got to get rid of all hate, okay? Look what you want and look what you don't want. And then what you don't want, don't focus on it, okay? If you don't want Bill Gates to be your health leader, if you don't want Justin Trudeau to be your prime minister, just forget about him. Just ignore him. That's what I do. I just ignore him. I ignore Bill Gates. I ignore Soros. I ignore all these people that are so toxic. And as far as I'm concerned, the devil has crawled up their butt. So the reality is, I'm going to focus on me having just the most beautiful day, and that I know that I'm loved, and that I can always connect to my breath, connect to my Creator. And that's what it's about. Connect to your breath, because that connects you to your Creator. That connects you to nature. And just really see if you can start being selfish enough to know what your needs are. If you're not looking after your needs, then how are you ever going to look after anyone? And you know what? You're a walking billboard for those that love you. And if you're not doing loving things to yourself, they're never going to do them. You know what? I had a gentleman. Okay, I said, self-care, self-love. And he said, well, Dr. Wolfe, I can buy into the self-care, but I'm not buying into the self-love because that crawled out of the pit of hell. It's on my Facebook. That's what he said. So self-love crawled out of the pit of hell. So God created us not out of love, but something way beyond that. And, if you look at things, we were created, if you look at the Bible, or if you look at any really religious books or old books that are written, I'm not sure where somebody got it that it's a sin to totally love, honor, and respect yourself. I said to him, I answered it back, and I said, if you have children, would you like your children to love themselves 10% or 100%? You do know that if they love themselves 10%, they're probably going to look for love. And if they do that, they're going to get into drugs, alcohol. They might even be abused by their girlfriend or boyfriend. But if they totally love themselves, there's a good chance that they would respect and honor themselves. You do know he did not answer me back. Because understand something. We are very confused people if we think that totally loving ourselves is some kind of cult or something that crawled out of hell. Seriously. Okay. Anyways, I won't be having him over to dinner really quick. All right. So I will be doing a new thing called Tune In every. It's not every day. They got every day here, but I'll be doing Product Spotlight. So if you see Product Spotlight and you don't want to know anything about products, please don't come on there and banter me. Okay, if you want to know about our products, please come on. I have, whether you want to believe this or not, it doesn't matter. I have people all the time saying, can you please come on and talk about your products? And what we're going to do is I'm going to do going to come on and do a one a day on products, and then we're going to put that into a place called Product Spotlight. And I hope to go through all of them within some period. Tomorrow it's with Jay Lee, and it's called Advanced Water Fasting and Ionic Calcium Ions at 3 p.m. Then it'll be Autoimmune Diseases with Jay Lee on Wednesday, and then we'll do the Q&A on Thursday, and they're all at 3 o'clock. If you've got questions for them, just put them underneath right now. All of our shows are time-stamped 24 hours later on YouTube. December the 7th will be my next DocTalk live Q&A. I promise you those people I didn't get to, they'll be first, these questions, and the lives will come next. My next Whole Life Coach course is March 13th, to March 20th. And then the Wolfe Non-Surgical starts on March the 22nd to April 2nd. Yes, we're still doing personal treatment and trainings throughout Canada. We don't really want to go into the States because we think there's going to be a big shutdown in the next few weeks. So we're not planning any until they decide to stop this madness and everybody wakes up. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm praying for it. Whole Life Mind Body Masterclass is coming in the new year. I'm also doing a major training in Mexico. We'll tell you the dates because now with this new thing going on, I don't even want to mention the name. We're just trying to hover right now. And then I have another Whole Life Coach starting May the 1st to the 8th in Kelowna, British Columbia. And Wolfe Non-Surgical May the 10th to the 21st. Again, if you're interested in consultations, please go to my website and look at consults. You can find us on Telegram and BitChute, everyone. There's a lot of stuff I don't put on YouTube because it'll be taken down. But if you go to my Telegram, Doc of Detox, or BitChute, it all gets listed there. Also, I already told you I'm going to start doing one-a-days and picking one piece of the body to do the clapping. Okay? All right? And don't forget, like I said, you will find us on YouTube, Facebook, Intercom for our shows. And when watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe below and make sure you click on the bell to enable notifications so that you never miss a show. Okay? And also, if you want to download any of my shows, any of my stuff that's up in my library, you can go to iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud, and then you can listen to it while you're on the subway or driving in the car. God bless everyone. Take your power back. Get yourself some Love Band Life Bands. 3, 2, 1, I got this. This here is a hug. The band is hugging me. That's a kiss, snapping me back to the present moment. The only moment of power is in the present moment. And they don't want you there. They don't want you there. Let me just say this. In your day, what's the percentage that you're in the present moment? I bet you it's not more than 2 to 5%. I guarantee you that I'm in my present day, 95 to 98%. And that took a long time for me to work on. You got this, Daryl. 3, 2, 1, you got this. I approve of myself. That's the old me. Okay? And this is the new me. At every moment, you have a chance to become the new you, the authentic you, the real you. Unleash your practitioner today. There's a genius inside of you. God bless. And I'm all done. Have a beautiful one. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.